Okay.
And we're here. Welcome to another episode of Equestrian Pedestrians, the podcast about horses. Today we're talking about Clydesdales.
I thought I was so smart with that name, and only to learn that it was taken, I was like...
It's a good name, but it's stupid enough that I'm surprised it exists.
It's a song.
Oh, yeah.
It's a song name.
Stupid.
And it's the name of a Facebook group. Yeah.
I think you could steal it.
For a podcast?
Who cares if it's a Facebook? It's Facebook. Nobody's on there. Not one person knows.
That's true.
You could totally take it.
I think it could work as a podcast name.
Yeah.
The Equestrian Pedestrian. What was the whole premise of it again? I don't even remember. I thought the name was hilarious, but I don't remember what the point was.
It was just about horses.
Just a podcast about horses?
Yeah.
It could work.
I think... If I were to make a Equestrian Pedestrian podcast, I would want it to be a podcast where the two people talking about the horses have no experience on a horse or how to care for a horse. Therefore, they're pedestrians. They're not riding the horses. They're just bystanders. Yeah. And I think it's really funny to talk about something you know nothing about.
Because all of our ideas about starting a new podcast involve us there's some aspect of it where you're and we don't know what we're talking about. And we don't know anything about the subject. Yeah. You just want to dive right into it.
And it's so funny to me. I love it.
Maybe it'll happen one day.
Yeah.
You seen any good movies lately?
I mean, all the movies I've seen are with you.
We finished, James Bond.
We did. I cried.
Yeah.
So
did you cry the first time?
No. Because I watched the last movie, the last installment, without seeing any of the previous movies. Yeah. It was still a good movie, but I wasn't emotionally connected to it in any way. Mm-hmm. I also didn't know who anybody was. That movie does a really crappy job at explaining who every single person is. You kind of just have to figure it out.
Because it's movie number 5. Yeah. You should know by now. It's like watching the final Harry Potter and being they didn't tell me who anybody was.
Yeah. Here's the backstory. So there's that.
We saw Nope in the theater.
Yeah.
It wasn't what I thought it would be. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but it wasn't what I thought it would be.
It's different than what the trailers put out.
A little bit. Mm-hmm. Just a little bit. But I still liked it. I still like his movies a lot. Yeah. I thought the visual effects were really cool. I thought the way they shot it was really cool. Just from a filmmaking perspective, it's a really interesting movie.
Yeah. Jordan Peele's really good.
Yeah.
I like his stuff. Speaking of Nope, Keke Palmer, I would like to address the celebrity belly button thing.
Oh, okay.
I have a good one. Her. I
had no idea where you're going with it.
I was in line at the grocery store. She's on the cover of Women's Health magazine. Mm-hmm. Her belly button's really interesting. Yeah.
You saved pictures on your phone.
I did. And I didn't even tell you. You saw them on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like the Tesla logo.
A little bit.
It's like a lowercase. It's like a smidge of a coin slot belly button, but it has a hood over it, kind of. So it looks like a T.
But it has those if you were looking at the shape of the T, the main vertical stem of it, on either side of it, those parts are of skin are almost outy,
yeah,
a little bit,
almost like a peach. It looks like a little peach.
Sorta, yeah.
Kinda. And then she has a piercing hole. So yeah, it looks cool. I liked it. So I'd like to.
It's funny that you're noticing this stuff
list.
On your own.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're smiling at me. So yeah, that was me redeeming myself from a couple episodes ago because I had really boring ones. Because I don't know, guys. I've never looked. Never. No, I mean, I've looked, but I haven't seen, if that makes sense.
You've never noticed.
Yeah, I never noticed. Now I'm noticing.
Yeah. Because yours last week were Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, You eye rolled on your own. Let's just say that. I'm gonna call you out real quick. You did the eye roll yourself. See, hearing those names back.
You weren't hyping me up though. Like, that's true. You know, when we were recording that day and I had my, like, you weren't doing anything to hype me up.
I was excited, like, oh my God, like who's she going to come up with? Because we took like a bit of time to like come up with them. And then you came right out of the gate with like the two.
Well, think about this. Think about me. Like, not you had a whole lifetime of like noticing people's belly buttons in that way. I haven't. So like, it's like, how do I look for one?
If I went up to a random person on the street and someone who like grew up in our generation, and I was like when I say the word celebrity belly buttons, like who comes to mind? To me, it would be like Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears.
The Britney Spears one, I will stand by that strongly because you
had that poster.
Like I had that poster and that experience with it. And to me, that still blows my mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll stand by that one. 100%.
But then you came out of left field with, what's her name?
Karen
Gilligan. And she was a pick I didn't expect.
Yeah.
You know, because she has a pretty like average looking belly button, I would say.
In that one picture I saw, though, it looked really cool, but it was just the shadows.
Yeah, but still, like, she looks great. Yeah. But Keke Palmer, like, that one looks very interesting.
Yeah.
I remember like holding your phone and like opening up those pictures and zooming in on it. And I was like, whoa, I'd never noticed it before. Yeah.
Maybe I'll buy you the magazine. I'll frame it for you.
That's funny.
So along with, seeing people's belly buttons now and noticing those, I am also like loving touching your belly button, and I love you touching mine. Like I'm starting to like crave it now.
And we haven't,
and I need it.
We haven't like been together in like almost a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I'm talking
probably the longest we've gone without seeing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like all last week, like I felt like I touched your belly button more than I ever have. Like, and not just like sexually, like when we were watching movies or just sitting down, laying down, just together, like I'm touching it.
And I loved it.
And yeah.
I loved every second of it. Trust me, I noticed.
Yeah. I loved when I was like trying, like my hand was at like a weird angle, but I was still trying to touch it. Yeah. And you adjusted, like you laid on my chest, but like facing up so that my arm like, went around you.
We were like making, like my head was resting on your stomach and my body was like we made like the letter
sideways.
T.
Yeah.
Like our bodies
so my arm was going over your shoulders, like down your like midsection to like your belly button.
Yeah.
Kind of like how we were at the beach.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so that was nice. And then you've been playing with mine, a lot more casually.
Yep.
And I crave it. Like I need it. I'm worried I'm becoming like obsessed with it, and I'm worried it's going to end up being like too much or something, like you're going to like be turned off by it or something, because you've never been in this situation.
Yeah.
Really, I don't think.
Sorry, can you repeat that part? I'm sorry. We literally just got a new voicemail right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was like, "Who's that?" Oh my gosh.
So
I've never been in what situation?
Well, I could be wrong, but like where the person that you're with like plays with it as much as like we play with each other.
I've never been in that situation before. Mm-hmm. Like not even with Sydney. Mm-hmm. Like the way the fetish like existed in our relationship was not mutual. Mm-hmm. She did like lick mine and finger mine like in videos. Like I think sometimes like she licked mine like when we were having sex, but yeah, like not often at all. So this is like definitely the most it's ever happened. And yeah, I am playing with it more casually now. Like it's kind of nice. Like where was I doing it the other day? Like I did it on the ride home for a while. I like left my finger in your belly button for like a long drive. And I remember touching it when we were in the pool a little bit. And yeah, it just like, it feels nice to, because I'm not touching you to like get you going. I'm not touching you to like signal like, hey, let's go fucking do it like right now.
Yeah.
You know?
I like you paying attention to it.
Yeah.
Like I like that moment between us. I love it.
Yeah. So we're going to hop into a story that somebody emailed us.
Ooh. Cool. Cool. I'm a 24-year-old woman, and I've had a belly/belly button fetish since I was a toddler. And for context, I was a very good girl. Like, I was very well behaved all the time and got the best grades and everything. I eventually ended up in brain research. Behind the scenes, I started realizing that I have a massive, pretty masochistic navel fetish, which did not line up with the rest of my identity. For a long time, I thought that my fetish was an addiction, or at least certainly something that I should get rid of. I realized that I have a fetish while I was dating my first boyfriend. 2 years into the relationship, I told him. I think he was quite disgusted. I have had 3 boyfriends since then, and I think that I'm very lucky because all of them were pretty accepting of my fetish. They all kind of learned to love it. I think I'm in a bit easier situation than outiebyte in the sense that my fetish is almost exclusively autofocused. So I love my belly button played with, but I'm not interested in playing with others. But even though my fiancé is really into playing with mine, I haven't been able to talk to him about my fantasies nearly as openly as you guys do. I hope that listening to your podcast will give me courage. I need to talk more about it. I need to learn to accept myself even more. And I also hope that being more open about it, at least in my relationship, will also bring a lot of fun. You guys make me feel so normal. It's incredible. Kudos to Zoe. You are the person with the biggest heart, and as someone who comes from outside the community, your incredible acceptance of this fetish is so therapeutic. And also kudos to outiebyte. I have never seen someone on the internet being so open and vulnerable about their navel fetish. I'm very grateful. I don't know if you realize how healing your presence in this community is. Lots of love from Europe.
This was such a nice message.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it. I think it's very interesting, the fact that her navel fetish errs on the side of like being masochistic,
Mm-hmm.
and that it does not line up with her identity.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's us in a way?
A little bit. Like I
in terms of like we're so unassuming.
I felt a connection to her when I read that.
Yeah.
And I know she mentions like feeling like her fetish is an addiction and something she should get rid of. And I wonder if any of that has to do with the fact that it's different from her like day-to-day identity.
Yeah.
I don't know, or if she feels empowered by it. Because I kind of feel empowered by the way that we are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I love like looking really innocent and like coming across really innocent, but like having these things about me that are like completely the opposite, but like nobody knows. Like it's just for me. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure she didn't feel empowered with that first boyfriend.
No. And I'm really happy that she's had a few since then who have been like really like open to it and like really accepting.
I think I've done a pretty good job at not revealing my fetish to the ones that I thought would find it weird.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've always opened up about my fetish to the ones that I really trusted, that I felt safe with. I'm like, I applaud her for just even like taking that leap.
Like getting back into it after like a horrible, I think if I were her, I wouldn't have had the courage to like express it to other people after having a negative first
really
experience.
Went for it on that first time, not knowing what would happen.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like with everybody I expressed it to, I kind of had a general idea of how they would take it.
Yeah.
That's got to really sting when you have someone who's like, whose main emotion is disgust.
Yeah, because it's not a disgusting thing.
Yeah, it's not.
You know? It's like anything else.
And also when it comes to like masochism, I don't know if she dove like that deep into it when she first told him.
Yeah.
But
And I wonder how deep that goes for her. Like me and you both like a little bit of pain. I know you like pain. Mm-hmm. And yours.
I mean, who knows how far, like where she falls on the spectrum.
Yeah.
But regardless of where you fall, it's got to feel pretty shitty to be met with disgust.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, I'm glad she has a fiance now that likes to play with hers. I find it interesting that she, like it doesn't go both ways. Like she doesn't need to play with somebody else's to feel satisfaction.
Yeah. Because for me, it's all about playing with somebody else. I mean, I think with you, like I've come to love having mine played with. Mm-hmm. So the scales are starting to tip like a little bit, but I'm also getting like a really heavy dose of playing with your belly button.
Yeah.
You know?
I think if your fiance is willing to like explore this with you and like support you in this and, you know, do this for you because you like it and because he cares about you and I'm sure he loves you and like he's willing to play with it thus far, like maybe experiment with like opening up with some of your fantasies, like whatever those are. Like start with the least intense one and then go from there.
Because I feel like them into it is the right move.
Because you deserve to have those things met, and you know he's already like you guys have already come this far.
Mm-hmm. He's already been this accommodating to you.
Yeah, and like if you feel like he would be really accepting of it, you know, or at least trying it out, because that's how I was with outiebyte. Like I was like. I didn't really understand what it was at first, but I cared about him and I wanna, like, I'm curious as to what he's into. And like, I wanted to at least give it a shot. Mm-hmm. You know, it's something that he enjoyed and I wanted to like respect that and like, you know, explore that with him. And then I ended up liking it.
So like if you could put yourself in his shoes, how would you feel if I came to you with something that you absolutely did not want to do?
Like,
because like that's what I would assume she's scared of.
Yeah.
Like that's why she doesn't want to open up about some of her fantasies. Like that's the only way I can really justify her having fear.
I mean, if you came to me with some like I'm not really into like beta, like I don't want you to like whip me, you know? Yeah. Like but
let's say when it came to like belly button stuff, like let's say I was like, I want to pierce your outie.
I wouldn't want to do that, but it wouldn't change the way I felt about you and it wouldn't change our relationship.
Yeah.
It would just be something that it'd be like, oh, like, no, thanks.
Like, let's say I wanted to do that to you. You like, we've been building our relationship for months now. Mm-hmm. Would you feel different about me knowing that like, I want to take things to that extreme?
I think I would feel different in the sense that I would feel like at that point, then there was something that you may need and that I can't like give you. But it wouldn't make me feel less of you or like disgusted or anything.
So do you think that would affect the relationship? Would that discourage you? Would that make you feel like you're not the right person for me?
It's hard to say.
Because I feel like this answer might help give her a little bit of insight, you know? Uh-huh. Because, I mean, again, that is the fear.
If that was the only thing, you know, if like talking about just me and you, if everything is like the same as it is right now, mm-hmm. but you opened up to me about wanting, like you really wanted to pierce my belly button. You were like really into that. You're really into like that sort of like needle play stuff. I don't think it would. I don't know. Wait.
Like, do you feel like you'd get in your head about it? Again, like feeling like you're just not the right person for me. Like I
wouldn't go that far because I feel like that's a really strong statement. Because I still feel like we're really good for each other, and I feel like I'm gonna sound really conceited, but I feel like I give you a lot of other things, mm-hmm. and everything else is really great. It's just that one little thing. I would feel bad that. I'm
not being satisfied in the way that I want.
In that one little bit. Yeah. Because I feel strongly enough that sexually and non-sexually everywhere else is covered mm-hmm. and we're fine and we're happy. Mm-hmm. It's just you wanting to pierce my belly button and me saying no. I don't feel like that would ruin our relationship at all. No. Yeah. I would probably talk to you about it though and try to gauge like how important that is to you though. Mm-hmm. Like if that was just like one little thing that you wanted to try but we're fine with like not. I don't know. Like,
yeah, you wanted to. You're basically trying to say, is it a deal breaker or not?
Yeah, like it. How much does it mean to you? Like,
yeah, because like if she never got to live out those fantasies, can she live with that?
Yeah, because one thing I learned about you a couple podcasts ago that I had no idea is that if like you were with somebody who didn't share the fetish at this point, you probably wouldn't be with them. And I had no idea.
Yeah, but I also didn't realize that until my last relationship, and where I finally recognized how much I sort of suppressed my fetish and how much anxiety that was giving me.
Yeah.
I mean, she knew that I looked up content, but I felt like I don't know, I just felt very secretive.
Yeah.
You know, she didn't know the full, no pun intended, ins and outs of like the fetish.
Yeah.
You know, you got to gauge where, I mean, obviously this person's your fiance.
Yeah.
You love each other. You're ready to make that commitment to each other. And
are you happy with how it is now? Like, are you feeling satisfied with the amount of attention he gives your belly button already?
Yeah. And
or
is it willing? Is it like enough to give up your fantasy?
Yeah.
If are you willing to take that risk, or are you just scared to divulge your fantasy to him because you think he's gonna like leave you? It's a risk, you know, especially when you've gone through the experience of having someone who just like felt disgusted, but he's already been accepting of it this far. Yeah. So I think if I were you, and this is what I would do, I would, like I said before, start small, and whatever that is, trickle whatever out the information, small version of the fantasy is, and just talk about it, you know, and see if he's interested in that, and then go from there. Like, you don't have to throw it all out there at once. Just test the waters with it. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Because I would be curious, and I'm sure you're curious, and I'm sure you think about it a lot. Like, you know, especially because like the content's hard to get otherwise. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just try it out. Just test little bits. And just dip your toes in a little bit. Yeah, just dip your toes in and see how he responds. And then I feel like you'll know in his like first reaction to it, you know, whether or not he'd be into like learning more, you know? And she's in a unique position, or I should say she's in like a slightly better position than what she could be, in that she wants those things done to her. Yeah. You know? Yeah. He doesn't have to. She doesn't have to put up with the pain or anything like that. Yeah. So as long as he's okay. Like if you wanted me to pierce your belly button, like I have a thing with like pierce, like I'd have to get over that part. It's like a scaredness, but I wouldn't be like opposed to trying it. Like it wouldn't like freak me out. It's just like the needle thing just freaks me out, but I would be able to like move past it for you. Yeah. You know? Okay. Yeah. But I would do that because I'm not, you know, getting hurt at all. I said, okay, like, here we go. Yeah, I know. There's a little part of me that was like, okay. But, you know, like my reaction to that just now was like totally fine. Yeah. But also, you know, like I care about you like a lot. So I wouldn't, like, I'm willing to do that for you. Yeah. If you were somebody I just met and I didn't really know, I'd probably think more about it. But I think when you really, like, when you really care about somebody, and when you get to the point where you guys are like engaged to be married, you know, you probably like really like each other. Yeah. So, I mean, what you just said is a testament to like the bond, like the strength of a bond you have with somebody. Yeah. For all these people who are like trying to find people to like share this fetish with, like building that bond and having that strong foundation is like so important. Yeah. Like if I came right out of the gate with belly button fetish, like day one, it would have been kind of a different situation maybe. Yeah. Between us, I would have been like, whoa. Whoa. A lot. Yeah. So I hope all that rambliness helped you a little bit. I know. Sorry, you guys. We are not like sex therapists, anything like that. We're just two average people. I'm horrible at explaining stuff. Me too. So I hope, you know, if you really focus and try to find little bits of everything we said and put them together, you know, I hope it. I think there's some good stuff in there. Yeah. But yeah, I think that wraps us up for tonight. Oh, and thank you. Wait, real quick.
Thank you for saying I had a big heart. That makes me feel good.
That was sweet.
I thought that was really sweet. Like my eyes teared up when I read it.
Oh, really?
A little bit. Yeah. It was very nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. And again, thank you to everybody who's like reached out so far. Send us an email, message us on Instagram. It's nice being able to like release an episode. Then like the next 24 hours, we get like a bunch of messages, like people telling us what they thought about it.
Yeah.
Or people who heard it for the first time. I don't know. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Like
it really feels like a little community.
Yeah. It really does. And I hope we're making a difference. You know, it's nice to hear those messages from people who are saying we're kind of like helping them break out of their shell, you know, and it's hearing people talk about it in such a normal way is like helping them like feel like this isn't weird or strange.
Yeah. Like you don't need to like get rid of it. You know, it's okay to be this way.
Yeah. And just like she was saying in her message, it was like, she felt like it was something that she had to get rid of. I felt like that for a while. Yeah, for sure. Like I felt like it was an obsession at certain points in my life in an unhealthy way. Yeah. To the point where I was like looking it up all the time. Just couldn't stop. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of other people in the community who have like felt like that at some point. Yeah. For me, I have ADHD. So I'm sure like that played into it somehow. I can't really say that I read this thing or I watched this thing or this thing changed in my life and therefore like got rid of my obsession or toned it down a bit. But I feel like it's kind of evened out now. And now that I'm getting such like a heavy dose of it from our relationship, it's, you know, something that's new to me and that I'm still kind of like feeling out in a way. And I'm trying to gauge my cravings, you know, and kind of make sense of them. Cause I was going to say, I don't know if I've ever not wanted it. Like I always want belly button play. Yeah. You know, I've always wanted it. Now, whether I crave it or not, that's one thing. But like, if you know, wanted to touch my belly button, like I'd never say no. Yeah. You know,
that's good to know. Yeah. Watch out. Ooh, you know, something I want to try. What? I don't know if it's going to be possible, but I forgot where I read it. Oh, it was a story. Somebody sent me a story. I have so many stories. I will read them eventually, but I've been getting a lot.
On Reddit? Okay.
And so one of them, he just mentioned, I'm probably going to get this kind of wrong. I only read it once, but they were on like a log ride of some sort. So I'm imagining Splash Mountain at Disneyland. Yeah. And like you sit behind me and you like wrap your arms around me and then you can, because I'm wearing a crop top anyway, probably. Yeah. You can just like, you know, your hands around me, just like play with my belly button on the ride. And
I'm down.
Nobody would know. I want to try that so bad.
Like, should we try to get it in the photo?
Maybe. I wonder, because if there's like explicit photos, they don't.
Oh, they won't show them on the TV.
Yeah, they just take them off. Oh. So I wonder if they would recognize that as that's a good experiment. I wonder if they would recognize that as sexual. Or something explicit to not have.
There are so many people that wear crop tops to Disneyland. Yeah. I would assume that it's not going to come across as explicit, but it's just a finger in your belly button.
Yeah, and you could just look like you're holding me.
That's true.
Yeah, that's probably what it would look like. But we have to be in the front row.
Like, how wild would it be to like be standing around the other people who are in the log with us and they get to see the photo and they get to see that? Yeah. I don't know if I could do that. I'd have to like run to the TVs, take the picture of the television and like bolt. Yeah. You know? Yeah. I don't know if I could stand around those people while they look at the.
That's the great thing about Disneyland. It's like you probably won't see them again. There's so many people.
We have to have a hat that we did not have on in the photo. Okay. You know, we'll have a hat, we'll have a jacket, and then like as we're walking to the TVs, we'll throw those on, and then we'll just like stand there and be inconspicuous.
Sunglasses.
What? Sure. Looking like Inspector
Just like
Gadget.
Shave my head real quick.
Yeah. All right. I think that wraps it up.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye.